In this week's nature news, India's cheetah project is going bad. South Africa plans to save the white rhino as their extinction closes in. Yet again, a new dinosaur species discovered, and more. In this week's nature news, enjoy! Hello, hey mammals, welcome to another nature news. Awesome new topics once again. So we're gonna start with wildlife as we always do. This is a topic that I've made a video about before. This is about India's cheetah project. For you who don't know, India tried to reintroduce the cheetah to India. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin with this topic. There's a lot of frustration for me with this. But I'm not going too much into my opinion. What happened was, they flew over 20 cheetahs from South Africa and Namibia and released them into Kuno National Park. As I said, I already made a video on this, and let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of this, to say the least. To sum up my opinion real quick, it comes down to this. The biggest problem with this is they have got the wrong subspecies. You have different kinds of cheetahs. There are at least 5 subspecies of cheetah. All of them live in Africa, except one, which is of course the Asiatic cheetah. And that's the one that they should try to reintroduce. But they're not reintroducing the Asiatic cheetah. They are stealing 20 African cheetahs, South African cheetahs, for example, and releasing them into India or into the national park, which is wrong. So that's my biggest problem with this. It's the wrong kind of cheetah. It's the wrong species. They're trying to do the right thing in the wrong way. That's my main complaint. And of course, for those individuals, for those 20 cheetahs, it's a freaking nightmare. They got darted, they wake up, it's in a completely different place, different habitat, different surroundings, different animals, different challenges, different threats, different life. They were probably freaked out. They've woken up on a completely different part of the world. How unnatural is that? That's enough of my opinion. So let's get to the facts here. And my opinion is supported by the facts, of course. 7 cheetahs already died. 3 cubs and 4 adults out of the 20. Almost half is already gone. Well, nice. No, not nice. The cubs were underweight and the adults suffered from cardiac failure. How is that possible? Cardiac failure? The cheetahs were healthy, alright, they were flourishing, they were doing well, until they decided to dart them and fly them to a different continent. So this is a big problem. These are the biggest threats to cheetahs in the wild. Of course, number 1, habitat loss. Habitat loss is the number 1 threat to nature in general, to species in general. Number 2, poaching and any kind of hunting. I don't care what you call it, canned hunting, just normal hunting, poaching, any kind of shooting. Get rid of it. It's evil. Number 3, the wildlife trade, the illegal wildlife trade. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing, wildlife trade, which is also of course part of poaching. It's like interconnected almost. India's only option to save their cheetah, it's already too late, okay, but okay, their only option would be to look to Iran and to make a deal with Iran, because there's still a very small group of Asiatic cheetahs left, okay. That's the actual species that once roamed in India before they fucked it all up. There's 2 things they can do. Or just accept that you're way too late, about 7 decades too late, okay? They were declared extinct in India over 70 years ago. And now they want to try to reintroduce cheetah? Come on, are you joking me? Are you plucking my whiskers? Come on, this is the perfect example of how humanity is always acting after the fact. Oh, this species is extinct. Let's try to bring him back. What are you gonna do next? Bring back the T-Rex? We have to, from now on, be 1 step ahead of these problems. I know it's not as simple as I make it sound, but it's the truth. That's what we need to do. And it's actually possible. We need to start working our asses off on conservation before they're extinct, alright? And not like this. Now, 70 years later, oh, let's reintroduce the cheetah. There's no such thing as reintroduce next to the word extinct. It's the exact opposite. And there's only a very small group left in Iran of about 12. The last time I read, there were 12 or something. I don't even know if that is enough. Maybe with 12 the genetic pool is too small to actually get those numbers back up there. I don't know if it's even possible with only 12. But yeah, if they're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. That's our only option. Everything else is fake. It's false. It's not the real. It's different animal. A cheetah is not just a cheetah. There's a reason why there are subspecies. It's in the name. African cheetah. Asiatic cheetah. If you want to get my full opinion on this topic, I made a video a while ago. So I'll leave it in the description, I think. And I'm gonna move on. But for now, one thing left to say. Make a deal with Iran. Try to get those numbers up if it's possible. Because that's your real Asiatic cheetah. For the rest, leave African cheetahs in Africa. Moving on to the next topic. Whoop! Alright then. This is about Africa instead of India. This is about rhinos. Believe it or not, I saw this coming from miles away. The white rhino is also, how can I put this? Well, going extinct. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm gonna say it straight up. Before we know it, we don't have rhinos anymore. That's the truth of it. That's the reality we're facing. Or actually, that's the reality we're creating. We've already lost the northern white rhino. And now the white rhino in general is disappearing.
Sudan. The last male northern white rhino.
South Africa has planned to conserve and prevent the white rhino population from going extinct by repopulating the country with several of the animals. So obviously the main reason for the drastic decline in rhino numbers and rhino populations is poaching. Number one, poaching, again habitat loss. So those are the two, and it's not just, these are two big problems happening at the same time, dude. They're absolutely getting sandwiched, as it were. And their habitat is shrinking, and in the habitat that still remains, where rhinos still thrive, they're being shot. It's sickening. It's a fucking clusterfuck. My battery's already almost dead. Shit. The southern white rhino population decreased by 12% in the last 4 years. Now, of course, to you, that's just numbers. But in reality, this is a major problem. That's a lot of rhinos. That's a lot of unnecessary deaths. This is a lot of destruction. There are less than 16,000 left in the wild. In the world, 16,000. Can you imagine 16,000? Imagine there only being 16,000 humans. And this is not some made up number. This is straight from the International Rhino Foundation. We need to absolutely destroy any demand for rhino horns or elephant tusks for that matter, or tiger teeth, any kind of materials from animals, any kind of demand for that. We need to completely destroy this industry. I don't give a fuck if people will lose money from this, or it's not about humans. This is far more important than you, than me, than humans, than our stupid little business. You know, what's the sad part about this whole rhino stuff? The main demand comes from Chinese medicine, which is one big stupid fat ass lie. Chinese medicine, it doesn't exist. Everyone that's not completely an idiot knows that the horn of a rhino is the exact same material of your nail, of your finger. So why don't we, you know, chop off our nails instead of killing important animals for an ecosystem? And it has the same effect for medicine, which is none. On one side, it's very, very sad and sickening because it doesn't even do anything. Chinese medicine, it's absolutely pathetic. It's a hoax. It's fake. It's not even useful, you know. But then on the other side, it's the perfect reason to destroy its industry, because there's no evidence that it helps. There's no scientific evidence that it's actual medicine. Destroy the wildlife trade industry, poaching industry. No more elephant tusks, no more rhino horns, no more nothing. We need to stop the demand, because if there is a demand, eventually there will be a supply. And the supply means the extinction of a lot of important animals. We will touch on this topic many more times on this channel, so because this is highly important. But yeah, for now, vamonos mammals. On to the next topic. We all know how bad plastic pollution is for the oceans, and coral reefs are no different when it comes to plastic garbage. And in fact, scientists have recently discovered that plastic garbage gets stuck even more in deeper corals. So the deeper the reef, the more plastic will get stuck there. Because of course the waves and the ocean current is less strong there than at the surface. Many fish and sea turtles get absolutely harassed by our plastic. There have been deep divers that have gone to the absolute bottom of the ocean, and even there found plastic trash. How sad is that? At the very edges of our world, our destruction is present. Even in space, in the deepest oceans, the highest mountains, we've created a sad reality. 80% of all ocean garbage is made of plastic, or exists of plastic. So these are the big problems with plastic. First of all, of course, it's obvious that it's an unnatural substance. Plastic doesn't exist in nature. Ocean animals get it in their body. Alright, they eat it. They eat animals that eat it. Even birds die of it. I've seen it on TV. Birds that have so much garbage in their body that like 1/4, yes, that like 1/5 of 1/4 of their body weight exists of plastic. And they got so much plastic in their body that they died of it. Animals eat it. Animals get entangled in it. There's even a viral video with a sea turtle that got some kind of straw in his nose, stuck in his nose. Luckily that one, you know, got like rescued. But there's so many billions of animals each year that get absolutely fucked up because of garbage. It's such nasty stuff, you know. It just disrupts the whole natural way of life, okay? It harasses everything. The environment, animals that live in it. It's like a poison. It gets in everywhere and it's hard to get out. And it slowly but surely destroys everything in its path. Even you and I got microplastics in our body. We can't escape it. It's everywhere. It's very sad to think about. Your body is not even pure anymore. And then of course the big garbage exists of fishing gear. So big nets, especially big nets. Animals get entangled in it all the time. One of many reasons to destroy the fishing industry. Man, we've got so many problems. Plastic, the plastic pollution on this planet, poaching, wildlife trade, the fishing industry. Man, these are all our fuck-ups. And it's all driven by greed. Greed for wealth. Unnecessary wealth. Who needs billions of dollars, man? Fuck off, get out of here. And selfishness. This is dangerous as hell. Plastic is not something that solves itself. That's the whole thing about plastic. It's unnatural, so it doesn't dissolve, it doesn't rot away or something. What can you do? Try to buy as less plastic shit as possible in your life. Don't throw, if you're one of those fuckers that throws away your plastic out of water, boom, into the nature or into the ocean, into the sea, I don't give a fuck where, you are doomed. You are cursed. That's exactly one of those reasons. That's one problem. Of course, just idiots who are selfish as hell. Man, what do we do with these people? There's another problem which is even bigger, and it's countries import plastic to then burn it, which is already bad. Of course, we need to recycle the plastic that we have, but it's all, oh no, it's too expensive, and fuck that, dude. I don't give a shit. There's enough money. Nothing is too expensive when it comes to the health of the entire planet, okay? Nothing is too expensive. If there's one thing that we should put all our money in, it's the future. Just the total stability of the planet. Oh, God damn it. Countries, big countries or small countries, doesn't matter. They dump it. This is also what happens. They import it to burn it, but then sometimes they just dump it somewhere. The whole mountains of plastic. Of course, we've got these, what was it called? Plastic soups. There are some inventions already made to combat it, but it's not enough. It's not enough at all. So even in the ocean there are multiple problems. We've got overfishing, or just fishing in general is bad. We've got climate change, the ocean worms. Then on top of that, plastic pollution. You see, there are 3 problems already here, stacked on top of each other. If that isn't alarming, I don't know what is. So, this is another one of those topics that I will be talking about a lot more in the future, in future videos of course. So yeah, for now we're gonna move on to a little bit more of a exciting topic instead of a more depressing topic. But yeah, you know, these topics are important. I will never skip topics like climate change, plastic pollution, poaching. These are so important. What the hell? Will we ignore this? Like, that's exactly what is happening. That is exactly why these problems continue to exist in the first place, because too many people ignore it. So yeah, let's move on to prehistoric news. Oh yes! Once again, they found a new dinosaur species, which is always very exciting. This time, they found a type of ANKYLOSAUR. Of course, if you don't know what an ANKYLOSAUR is, it's a very famous dinosaur. Actually, it's one of the most heavy armored dinosaurs in the world. It's a living tank. This dinosaur also appears in a lot of Jurassic movies. They found this new ANKYLOSAUR on the UK's Isle of Wight. I don't know where that is. Isle of Wight, off the south coast of England. This is the first ANKYLOSAUR found on the island in 142 years. This animal lived in the early Cretaceous period, which is anywhere from 145 million years to 100 million years ago. It always is astonishing to try and realize an animal that lived 145 million years ago that we can still find back today. 145 million years! I can barely wrap my head around that. What is so special about this ANKYLOSAUR? This ANKYLOSAUR had spikes. So a lot of ANKYLOSAURs have, of course, heavy armor, a lot of bony plates around them, but this one had actual spikes coming out the side. Almost like what Stegosaur has on his back. Given the lack of fossil records from the early Cretaceous period in other parts of the world, the Isle of Wight is vitally important for our understanding of what happened. So apparently, I didn't know this before, but there aren't a lot of fossils from the early Cretaceous period. The less fossils there are of a specific time or a specific animal, the more valuable the fossils are that we do have. The less we know about something, the more important it is. The more valuable the opportunity is to learn. And a lot of the times, I think people may think about dinosaurs like, okay, it's cool and all, but it's not very important maybe because it's so long ago. It's history. It doesn't matter. But it's not completely true. It's not true at all. First of all, it's freaking awesome. They're the most impressive, majestic animals that have ever lived. Second of all, dinosaurs can teach us a lot about evolution, a lot about nature in general. Also, it helps us understand nature now. Digging up bones is more important than it sounds. This is interesting. The team's analysis showed that this dinosaur is called Vectipelta barretti. It's most closely related to the Chinese ANKYLOSAUR, so suggesting dinosaurs were able to move between Asia and Europe in the early Cretaceous. That's how one discovery can make such a big difference. Moving on to the next and the last topic. This is a topic very short, very quickly, that I have already mentioned in the previous nature news. I've also uploaded the trailer, and it is of course Prehistoric Planet 2. Oh man, I just have to mention it again. In case you missed it, in case you didn't see it, in case you didn't know about this. Prehistoric Planet 2 is out and it is amazing. Now, actually the difference between a couple weeks ago and now is I have seen it now. Because I wanted to save it for, you know, the best time. Now I have seen it. Dude, I don't even know what to say. They keep surprising you with new dinosaurs, new habitats, new ecosystem, new adventures, new epicness, new knowledge, new information. One of the best content that exists. And the difference between season 1 and season 2 is now with season 2 they give additional information at the end of each episode. They explain how they found out about specific behaviors, specific features of the dinosaurs, how they discovered it. This is amazing. This is very educational. So as I said, new dinosaurs, new habitats. You can't miss this. This is the best. Little sneak peek. Oh, I have to mention this. There's velociraptors in this. Very realistic velociraptors. Not the velociraptors, of course, as in Jurassic Park, but real velociraptor. There's T-Rex. A lot of T-Rex action going on. Triceratops this time. And oh, this one is very crazy. This is also one of my favorites. This is Beelzebufo. Oh, this is crazy. The Hell Toad. Make sure you watch Prehistoric Planet 2, alright? Oh, buzzard. Alright guys, that is it for this nature news. There were some heavy topics, of course. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got value out of this. If you want to see more content like this, of course, consider subscribing and maybe hit that bell so you don't miss any future content, because there will be a lot. Alright, one nature news every week, alright, with important topics like this. And of course, I will get better and better at it. As always, let's make the planet green again. And I will see you in the next video. Wild out!